A Missouri inmate is executed 24 minutes before the Supreme Court rejected his appeal. Now, this story is quite heartening. Smulls Herbert is his name, and he was convicted of murder by an all-white jury. And there was a dispute, and they tried to put a stay in on the particular case. And his lawyers went to the Supreme Court and said, "Hey, listen, we want to stay on this execution." And before the Supreme Court the Supreme Court decision was not to stay the execution. Whether that's neither here nor there. But before the execution was actually stayed, Mr. Smulls was already dead. Herbert Smulls was already dead. He was killed 24 minutes prior to the Supreme Court even making a decision. So even if there was a stay, he would have still been killed. Now, the state of Missouri, they're arguing, and the argument they made is, well, both courts were aware that the execution would proceed once, the death warrant was signed, so it didn't matter, and there was no stays when he was executed. That is true. But what happened to the whole ideal of due process, right? What happened to the ideal of a fair and speedy trial? Somebody's having the right to sort of get all the appeals they can. A fair trial is key here. It's unfair because what would have happened, America? What would have happened if on the 25th minute or the 23rd minute, the Supreme Court said we're going to stay his execution? He'd already been dead. Now, we've covered this story before about the whole ideal of, them trying to find the right cocktail to kill these folks. And the fact that, a lot of these lawyers and a lot of states are very lazy because they don't want to get an additional death certificate and a death warrant. And they don't want to do all this work. So whatever, just kill them. And we'll deal with the ramifications later. It's a sad situation. It's what I would argue is a threat to our justice. It's a threat to it's a threat to our liberty, America, in the words of my Tea Party compatriots. It's a threat to our liberty. The fact that people can't get a fair trial. So for all those folks out there who sort of walk around with the American Constitution in their lapel, what do you guys think about this case, huh? What do you think? Somebody's constitutional rights were violated. He was killed before we even had a fair trial.